What Sorolla became particularly appreciated for were his paintings of the Valencian coast. They radiate the warmth of the Mediterranean sun and define the life of the fisherman. Monet called him the painter of light above all other. Jules Bastien Lepage said, "It is vital that you paint what you know," and that was the naturalist mantra of the day. And this is very much Sorolla painting what he knew best.
In 1903, Sorolla painted The Three Sail. The asymmetry of Sorolla's eye-catching composition immediately announces the distinctive ambition of the three sails. Three barefoot women of different ages, pulling together as they walk against the wind, are juxtaposed with the sweeping, open line of billowing sails on low-slung fishing skiffs that lumber into shore. Well beyond the picture's edge, the women's progress will intersect with the returning boats, but it is only the empty baskets, swinging awkwardly over the oldest woman's forearms, that connects their purpose to the distant fishing fleet. The very emptiness of the open shore spreading across the lower right corner of the painting emphasizes the unswerving advance of the fisherwomen who know their way without a glance to the boats. Wind snaps their patterned scarves and twists their aprons against their legs. The damp breeze glosses the rude wicker with chromatic color, and the early morning sunlight glances off a feature or a texture with a little regard for form or beauty, yet each of the women has her own age, her own identity. Sorolla exhibited The Three Sails in the Berlin International Exhibition of 1904, the last time it would be seen publicly for a century. A single black and white photograph in the Sorolla family archives kept the painting's existence on record. Either during the exhibition or shortly thereafter, The Three Sails was acquired by Max Stendhal. Throughout the first decade of the 20th century, they built up a collection of both modern and old master paintings displayed throughout the house. The Three Sails can be seen hanging above Stendhal's desk in an undated family photo. In 1939, the Nazis forced him, as a Jew, to sell his home. Max was able to prevent the seizure of their art collection by transferring the works to one of their son-in-laws, a non-Jew, who managed to move the paintings, drawings, and prints out of Berlin to Dresden. When that son-in-law, however, chose to flee East Germany following the closure of that sector after the war, he had to leave the created Stendhal paintings behind. Seized by the GDR as property of a state enemy, the paintings were stored in the basement of the Dresden Gemälde Gallery and forgotten for 50 years. Only with the catastrophic flooding of the Elbe River during the summer of 2002, which threatened much of the artwork and apparatus stored throughout the lower reaches of the museum, did the crates come back to light.
Interested in depicting light and in getting the essence of the moment.
Over 100 years ago, the Spanish painter Joaquin Sorolla captured the imaginations of Americans. Now, for the first time in a century, these paintings are reunited at SMU's Meadows Museum in a partnership with the San Diego Museum of Art and Fundación Mafre in Spain.
Through the provenance studies taking place at the museum, the paintings were ultimately returned to the far-flung descendants of Max and Fanny Stendhal. At the age of 60, the remarkable Joaquin had a stroke in 1920, and 3 years later, in 1923, he died.
Well, Sorolla is one of the greatest painters of the Spanish school and one of the greatest painters of his time. He painted more than 4,000 works. I would steal some of the words from Sorolla himself, that artists like the French Impressionists, Sargent, William Mary Chase, or himself were just children of Velázquez.